My thought process before leaving the church was definitely tumultuous. It wasn't anything I had ever planned on. It wasn't really anything I had ever expected. I'm frequently asked, like, what caused it. And there were definitely, like, chinks that happened from different experiences, either personal experiences or, like, realization. One of the big factors was the church's view, stance, idea, policy, what have you. It was decided that God doesn't like gay people to raise children. It was very bittersweet for me because it cemented my decision. I had already like made peace with like the idea of me living outside of the church. It was always problematic to me. It never quite made sense. I remember my sweet mother like always getting these tough questions from me, and I remember asking her, what about like gay people though? Because like the plan of salvation, like husbands and wives, and what about husbands and husbands? Even when I was participating in an organization that says these people are like damned or are choosing a lifestyle that will result in them being damned, I was like welcomed with open arms into the gay community as like some random straight Mormon girl. And I found such acceptance that I could have found, like in my privilege, I could have found that within the church. But I was so lucky to have found it even more fully and more openly from the gay community. And I just knew, like, there's no way that the God, whoever he or she is, that I believe in, still would ever deny what's being promised to me, to them. How do you reconcile when what you feel in your heart doesn't line up with what your church is telling you to feel? As I probably hoped that things would change. I would never be the kind of person to like pull anybody away from their support system, whether it's religion or spirituality alone. I just don't think it exists only within these confines of Mormonism. I think it's so much greater, and that's terrifying and wonderful. I say like hold on to it, but it can't be something that's going to cause you to carry either a burden in yourself or in your soul, or cause you to add a burden to anybody else's. And the reason I also don't regret my time in the church, just as much as I don't regret leaving, these principles of like, you can call it like these attributes of Christ, or you can just call it like selflessness or like charity or what have you. That's become part of my, like the fiber of who I am. Within you, like your perspective of something can always change, and your interpretation of something can always change, and your reaction to something can always change. I think one of the most poisonous and dangerous thoughts is that you're stuck wherever you are, that you can't get out of there, or that you can't change. When I came to that realization, it was just very right within me.